When you're not in harmony, you're addicted to your type. Though we all have one dominant intelligence center, the head, the heart, or the body, if we become stuck there without integrating the whole of who we are, then we miss the wholeness that is available to us, the wholeness for which we were originally created. For example, a 2, which is in the heart center, if they don't allow themselves to experience their gut and their head, they'll be off-centered and their emotions will be out of sync with the person that they were created to be. So it'd be really beneficial for them to incorporate their head as the 5 and their body gut as the 8 in their triad into their life to gain more balance. When they're centered and using the head, the gut instincts along with their dominant heart, they'll have greater harmony in perceiving not only themselves, but also the world around them. And Chris Hewarts, who wrote the book, The Sacred Enneagram, he uses the story of the Wizard of Oz to illustrate the value of finding harmony and balance. If you've seen the film, which you probably have, you'll remember that Dorothy gets knocked unconscious during a violent storm. While she's asleep, she falls into a dream in a magical land of Oz, where her job is to find her way home. In her dream, Dorothy is joined by 3 companions who are all searching for something. The Scarecrow is looking for his brain, the Tin Man is looking for his heart, and the Cowardly Lion is looking for his courage. Dorothy is suffering from a lack of harmony with her intelligence centers, as portrayed by the Scarecrow, who needs to connect with his head in his thinking center, the Tin Man with his heart in the feeling center, and the Cowardly Lion with his courage in the body center. And until these parts of Dorothy, these 3 centers connect, she won't be able to get home and wake up. If Dorothy continues to stay asleep in her dream, or at least the illusion that she's participating in, it'll become more real to her. And it'll distract her and distance her from the indispensable endeavor of facing reality and living beautifully into its gifts. In the end, it turns out each of her companions already possessed everything they needed. They just had to come to that revelation for themselves and then reclaim their original design. This is our same objective. We want to wake up from our nightmares that often seem more real than our reality. All of us want to wake up and live our true, authentic self. So the Enneagram invites us to return to our essential nature. It's the home for our souls. It brings out our head, our heart, and our body together through the inner work that this tool of the Enneagram, and it helps us wake up to come home to our true, authentic self. It's a really challenging journey, but it's a worthy one. Dr. David Daniels, he's a former clinical professor of psychiatry and behavior sciences at Stanford Medical School. He's also a leading expert of the Enneagram. He's credited with developing these harmony triads. And Dr. Daniels shares his findings on how the Enneagram can be a really effective tool to help us find our way home. He describes this effort as living in our harmony triad. It's in this union that we relate to the world. The intelligence centers are how we perceive and relate and connect to the world. Let's look at these 3 triads. So the 2, 5, 8 is one triad, and this triad is called the Relationalists. These people are focused on relating, or like how to connect with people. And 2s try to relate by moving towards others to meet their needs and their cares, what they care about. That's the heart. 5s try to relate by moving away from others to deliver reason and perspective. That's their head. The 8s try to relate by moving against people, by speaking out and asserting what is needed or required in a situation. That's the gut in that triad. So another one of the triads, the 3, 6, 9, These are called the Pragmatists. They use practical considerations and are very goal-focused. So 3 seek a practical and sustaining role in the world. Give me a job to do. That's the heart. 6s seek to assure a safe and secure existence in the world using their head. And 9s look for a comfortable position or a place in the world, which is the gut. So the third harmony triad is the 4-7-1 triad. These are called idealists. They're focused on action and collaboration. They're idealists, or these idealists are people who want to do good all over the world. 4 seek the ultimate ideal world in which nothing of importance is missing. That's the heart energy. 7 seek the ideal positive world that is free of suffering and pain. That's the head. And 1 seek the perfect world according to the internal standards of the way things ought to be. And this is the gut. So the goal for each of us is to recognize the value of connecting our story with the story of others and finding more harmony as we integrate the value of each of the 3 intelligence centers. Use this next exercise to help determine why you tend to accept the influence of 1 or 2 of the centers but suppress the 3rd. So these harmony triads are determined by which center, your head, your heart, or your gut, you filter your life through first. So to become balanced, authentic, and whole, each type needs to move towards the center, and that movement begins when we allow our corresponding harmony triad to have influence. So the 9 needs the influence of the 3 and the 6. The 3 needs the 6 and the 9, and the 6 needs the 9 and the 3. Those 3 numbers have a bond that brings movement in helping them understand the authentic opportunities and ways to live the life God created them to live. So the 4 needs 7 and 1, etc. The 2 needs 5 and 8, etc. As we experience life closer to the center, we recognize how much easier it is to be influenced by all of the 9 numbers. See, we're not 1/9 of God's creation. Our true authentic self is a whole number. It's not a fraction. We're going to give you more of an opportunity to do work and to dive deeper in this area in our workshops, in our live workshops. For now, follow the instructions in the next exercise and think about what life could be for you if you could incorporate the other parts of your harmony triad.